What's up? What's up?
Hello. Happy Wednesday, is it? Right? Yesterday was Tuesday, so naturally Wednesday comes after that, right?
Normally.
Okay. As long as it's not February. Oh, shoot. It is February, isn't it? So that's the weird one, where sometimes there's extra days and sometimes there's not.
Not this year.
Not this year.
Yes, happy hump day there, Fozzie.
Happy hump day, Fozzie. Absolutely. So, man, so many crazy things going on the Twitter world. We just delved into the drama. So, for everybody out there, we basically no longer partake in the crypto drama, the things that go on where BitBoy is having like his whole thing. But his Twitter came back. And he said he's going to be putting out his manifesto tomorrow. What that means, I don't know, but who knows?
And I want to say one thing, that if he is, I mean, he's obviously having some kind of mental health issue. I don't know why or how. Is it substance induced? I don't know. It doesn't matter. The man is obviously going through some shit, and we just hope that he gets better. Watched AJ's video today, put a lot of stuff in context, and I even commented that AJ's a better man than I am, because if somebody, friend or not, had come in and did what he did, you know what I mean, I wouldn't be still protecting him. So
100%.
But shout out to Ben. He is an icon in the space. He is the first person.
A lot of us got in. A lot of us came in crypto through Ben Armstrong. And shout out to Jason Owens. But definitely like crazy things going on. At first, it was like exciting, right? Finding out about Sam Bankman-Fried, FTX, and everything. And then it just kind of progressively got a little bit more out of hand. And we now are in the most amazing setup for the direction of the technology in the industry that we're in. And so I think that these kinds of dramatic things are not the things that should be taking everybody's attention.
Right. Yeah. But shout out to Ben, shout out to BitBoy. Hopefully he gets help and everything. And I don't want to diminish what he's going through for, getting his company, the way he got kicked out of his company and all that. Nobody will ever know the truth. Only the people in the mix actually know the truth, and it'll always be that person's version of the truth. You know what I mean? My reality is my version of the truth. John's reality is his version of the truth. That's just how it goes. Yeah, exactly, Jason. That was the thing. When AJ said that, I was like, damn. You know what I mean? So, but stress and everything can do shit to people. So that being said, we'll get past that. We just figured we should, give a shout out to Ben and everything. Hopefully everything gets better. So
100%. But we got some bullish news going on. I also want to give a special shout out to Hybrid Family, because yesterday on the stream, he mentioned some big news about a partnership and things going on. So we tried to find it, and we talked about the Walmart partnership. But he was actually talking about a Microsoft partnership that was talked about in a Charles space. So Charles...
100%, Jason.
But so Charles was talking about how in the future, very soon, they're looking at a Microsoft integration. That was actually what got me. Yeah. Anyways, 100%. But so that's going on. Some interesting things in the news today. I actually want to see if I can find real quick some of these bookmarks. There have been some interesting things going on in the Twitter world. I also saw recently that Midnight is going to be integrating Palmyra. because Ian Kane was tweeting, and Palm Economy commented and said, "Hey, we should be friends. We should talk." And so that looks promising. We like Palmyra. I wanted to share this. Here we go.
Should we give Ian 20,000 Empire token points because he followed Crypto Nightly today?
Did he?
On Twitter's.
We'll put him aside. In the future, when we're about to have the TGE, we'll just make sure that we get those into Ian's wallet. All right, but so this is what I wanted to show. A couple of different things. We got the
experience, the issues with spam and chain congestion. So when it works, it's a great experience from the user perspective, issuing assets and trading assets. But in March and April, 70% transaction failure rates, that's too high. The block explorers for Solana are pretty brutal to use. And last week when Solana DeFi activity flipped ETH briefly, and there's a lot of charts out there showing that, and we were some of the folks that were highlighting that momentum. I got a bunch of angry emails highlighting all of the wash trading or alleged wash trading that's happening on some of these illiquid meme coin pools. And the fact is, it's just hard to figure out the reality because there's so much data and no one really stores it all. So Solana consensus design is so complex that few actually know how it works or how it can be improved.
So yeah,
that's crazy. 70? Did he say 70% transaction failure rate?
70%. Yeah.
Wow.
And it makes me feel a lot better because there have been a handful of times when I'm trying to do some meme coin something on Solana, and I'm like, why do I keep sending the transaction through and not getting anything on the other side, right? And at least it was everybody, not just me. But in this, Vanek is talking about why the Sol ETF will be rejected and the ADA ETF will be approved. So this is out of context.
Bullish. If you guys want to know, DB Crypto, shout out DB Crypto.
Yep.
Did an awesome video on Solana, and he breaks it all down. He actually talks about the block explorer. I can't remember exactly what it was, but something like in the beginning, people were like they had to build their own because like they wouldn't like say certain transactions, and talks about like a double. It's not a double spending, but a double like a double tally of transactions. Like the transaction amount isn't it because it like counts like micro transactions or something like that or somewhere. I don't know. I watched it a long time ago, but it's a very good.
Very
you
good.
Just go on DB Crypto's thing and search Solana.
100%. Very much recommend it. And it was pretty eye-opening. I mean, he had a lot of hard receipts for a lot of things. And then so this was what Charles was talking about. VIP dinner got moved to the 22nd to the 1st. So super important meeting is early March. And during one of his shows, it sounded like he was alluding to the fact that the VIPs, some of the VIPs might be Microsoft.
Issues with spam and I got a bunch.
And then this guy, Mert, he is OX Mert. If you ever see him on Twitter, he's like the hardest core Solana maxi. I also wanted to give a shout out to Bitcoin OS. Yeah. Because I loved this Cardano and Bitcoin crushing the forces of FUD. I thought this was just so funny, so I'm gonna share it. So there we go. That's what we got there. I'm gonna go kill my dogs real quick. But I thought that stuff was kind of funny. And I really like the change in marketing tactics. So I think that what Chad was doing was really cool, where they had like using like anime, like classic anime style clips, and then they just kind of like, it might be whatever language that it is, and then they have like their translation, which may or may not be true, you know what I mean? But like, it was always funny, so I thought that was cool, and I think that that's a cool marketing way of getting attention while also like keeping communities like interested. So I thought that was cool. And beyond that, have you seen anything super exciting today?
Not too much. I've been super busy at work today. Listened to the AJ video, and then the market shrugged off the inflation numbers. That's good. You know what I mean? Inflation came out, so core CPI month over month came in at 0.3, expected 0.29, I think. And then core CPI, same thing, was up. And then year over year, it was at 3%, and expected was 2.9. And like as soon as it came out, market dumped. And luckily, I was poised to catch the bottom for fetch, and ended up riding out a nice long fetch today. But other than that, I've been out of it.
I saw this awesome news about Ondo and Liberty Finance. Did you see that?
Oh, they buy more Ondo?
Well, I'll actually read it. It says Ondo Finance partners with Trump's World Liberty Financial to tokenize real-world assets on-chain.
Well, that's cool. That's cool.
Yep.
Do you guys think we have to have quantitative easing in order to have a true alt season, or will it happen? That's an interesting question, because we've never had a cycle, to my knowledge, where we've had quantitative tightening. But do we necessarily need quantitative easing? I don't think so. I think that the fact that there's like a bajillion tokens now, and people are in things like pump.fun, snack.fun, all these other meme token generators, .fun generators, I think that is what is detracting from the interest in regular utility coins. You know what I mean? Because if you remember last year, meme coins, Bitcoin popped off, then meme coins popped off, then like L1s, L2s popped off, and we're having these like little cycles within. But I don't, we've already had a little bit of quantitative easing, right? We've had 2 rate cuts. So I don't know. It's an interesting question, though.
So my feeling on that is I think that we 100% are still going to have a crazy alt season. I think this alt season is actually going to be a crazier one. And I guess I talked about this a little bit yesterday, but I think that I feel like the crypto cycles happen every time so far, right? To this point, they happen every time. And a lot of times we go through these moments where people are like, I don't think it's going to happen this time. Right.
Right.
And it's just like, it's just off. I think that the timing is off. It's kind of one of those things that I feel like it's always going to happen, and it's always going to happen in a certain sequence, but it's not always going to happen the exact same at the same time, which is why people get confused in between. Right. And then so I still think we're going to have a crazy alt season. I think that this one is probably going to be a crazier one just because of the regulatory clarity. I think that we're going to have so many more stakeholders to jump in the boat this time. And I think that the altcoin market is still going to get wrecked. I don't think the Bitcoin market is going to get as wrecked as usual. I think that that's actually going to perhaps be the opposite. I think it's going to disconnect completely from the altcoin market, and Bitcoin's going to be in a league of its own. So the goal for this cycle is to make as much freaking money on paper as possible and transfer all of that to Bitcoin.
No, my goal is to transfer it all to USDC and then make sure that Bitcoin is not gonna crash.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. You know, you can still do that, but I'm just saying that depending on how long your time horizon is, but I definitely think you want to get out of the market at the end of the market cycle. So yeah, you don't want to be left holding the bag. I say this.
I agree with this 100%. Higher inflation to me means QE gets pushed back a bit. 100%. Now, granted, Trump is probably going to be leaning on the Federal Reserve. Doesn't mean they're going to capitulate. It just means, I mean, he's already said that rates need to come down, but he's a money guy. He's a stock market guy. He wants, you know what I mean? Sometimes you can't see the forest for the trees type thing. But yeah, it's definitely going to get pushed back because if inflation's going up, then Jerome Powell's not going to cut more interest rates.
100%. But without further ado, let's reset the room. Desert, you do it so beautifully, and then we'll go into market update.
All right, everybody, do us a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, tag that notification bell if you're on YouTube. If you're on Twitter, tag some friends, repost, do all that good stuff. We come live Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. PST, bringing you the daily news, all that stuff you missed while you were at your IRL job, here for you nightly.
100%. So perfect.
Low viewers tonight. We got a real low viewer count tonight. I wonder what's going on.
I think it's something about how we're hitting the algorithm. But TikTok has been blown up. We'll see you on the other side.
All right. Let's get the freshest data up here. And oh my goodness, it's a sight for sore eyes right there. Look at that. It's in the green. Only coming in at 3.36 trillion, but we are up 1.1%. That is better than being down 2.4%. So, and we have not seen that in quite a while. A little bit of volume today. Volume's still low, 154 billion, which would indicate we are not in the throes of a bull trend. We got Bitcoin dominance dropped a little to 57.6, Ethereum still under 10, and still less than one way to send an ETH transaction. Even with dominance falling, though, Bitcoin's coming in at 97,799, up 1.9%. Ethereum with a good move today, coming in at 2742, up 5.1%. XRP at 247, up 2.5. BNB back over 700 with a monster move, up 12.1. We got Solana. Solana's like been the dead weight today. I noticed when I got home and I was scrolling through, I was looking to see if there's any trades to get into, and I'm scrolling through my trading view, and it's like green, 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 red, Solana. So I don't know what's going on with that, but Solana definitely not doing too good today, especially down below 200. We got Dogecoin at 26.45, up 4.6. Cardano at 79.35, up 2.8. And we got SWE back in number 14 at 361, up 9.2. Love to see it. Let's check out the biggest gainers on the day. Sonic up 19.4%. Lido DAO up 14.8. BNB up 12. Floki up 10. SWE up 9. Hyperliquid up 9. Wow, Cosmos. You don't see that too often in the biggest gainers. Up 8.2. Even Stacks up 7.9. And we got quite a few of good looking projects right now as far as price action. Let's go to the biggest losers. I wonder if we have any losers. I haven't even looked at this yet. BitGet token down 4.2, and DEXE, I don't know how you say that, down 4.3, and then right into stable coins. Crazy. Looking good. Let's look at the chart real quick. Let me get up here. Let's look at Bitcoin. So coming out to the daily, looked like we were going to have like a super bearish day. Like I told you, when that CPI data came out, the market just dumped. We dropped all the way. This wick hits $94,000, but shrugged it off, did a U-turn, and ended up closing a nice engulfing candlestick on the daily. So we love to see that. Stokes are still nice and low. They are starting to curve to the upside. So you got the Stokes coming back to the upside, which is good. A little bullish momentum. You have the momentum wave on market cipher. Money flow starting to head back to the upside. Momentum with a nice move to the upside. VWAP still turned to the upside. So everything's looking good for Bitcoin. We're definitely not out of the woods, because we've seen the past 3 weeks, 4 weeks, even when it pumps, it's like it can't sustain the pump. We get a little jolt of liquidity and then it falters. We get a little jolt of liquidity, and you can see that. You know what I mean? You look at all this coming back to like January, we pump, we come back down. And even like intraday, look, we dump, we pump, we dump, we dump. Big wicks top to bottom, big wicks top to bottom, big wicks. And it's just been like that. It seems like forever, but it's really only been going on since like the beginning of January, or well, right about here, the middle of December, we started to decline and then started moving around in this area. And once again, we are still below 98.5. That it has to regain 98.5 in order to remain bullish. If we can't solidify a couple of candles above here and work our way towards 101, then it just shows weakness in the market. 4 hour, we're still under the 200 on the 4 hour, which is another bearish sign in my opinion. But you could say this is kind of like an Adam and Eve still. Boom, boom. And we're still rounding that bottom. It just seems to be taking a while to play out. Money flow has turned to the green. That's nice. Momentum to the upside, green dot. Looks like the VWAP might be wanting to come back down a little bit, but just having this money flow into the green is a big thing. We haven't been in the green since January 31st is when we turned red. And even then, we were only in the green for a little bit right here after this spot. So, I do think, cautiously optimistic, we are starting to go back up. But until we regain certain levels, I'm very cautious. And anything I do today was like the biggest trade I've had in a while, because just don't have time to like react to the market so much. But I was able to catch that fetch trade. Looking at SWE, like what's going on with SWE. But once again, even with SWE, we are still below the 200 on the 4 hour. We're still below the 378. Looking at the daily, we have been getting some nice green candles on the daily from SWE, and you can see, seems like this bullish div right here that we drew a couple days ago is starting to play out nicely. We're starting to get that momentum back to the upside. Money flow is turned, momentum's coming up, and the bullish div is playing out. We even got some strong DBSI numbers on today's candle, 26 and -5. Super bullish on that. Come down to like the 1 hour. We are above the 200 on the 1 hour. We are getting, a 21 over the 50. So if we can get that to cross above the 50, then we'll have all our moving averages lined up. But Stokes are oversold. RSI is kind of oversold. And the momentum wave looks like it's getting ready to clip. So we could see a nice little healthy pullback on SWE. Maybe come down to the 21 here. Something like that. So we could see a pullback on SWE, or we could see it just start to flag out as the 21 comes up to connect. Remember, 21's a magnet. It definitely wants to touch the 21. Hold on. All right. Look at Cardano real quick. Cardano looking good. Same. We are getting on the 1 hour. We are getting the red dot on Market Cipher B. Money flow has cut back down a little bit. VWAP is going under the 0 line, and we have a red dot. So pretty much the same on Cardano. Probably going to get a little bit of a pullback, but we've been able to stay above this 74. Once we got back above it, 1, 2, 3 candles, boom. We've been able to stay up here. Get rid of that. Don't really see anything. I mean, it's not really a head and shoulder pattern. Let's go out to the 4 hour. Stokes are kind of, it looks like they're turning. They're not all the way reset, but they are starting to flatten out and curve back to the upside. RSI is getting ready to lose the median line on the RSI, but we're back in the green on the money flow. We got the little green dot. More of a, no, that's not a bearish div. So I do like what I'm seeing. Cup and handle, no. Okay. XRP, same thing. We are still under the 4 hour. Once we get above that, we need to get above 271, get above the 200 on the 4 hour. But you got your Stokes going to the upside. You got a nice little trigger wave right here on the momentum. So you got money flow to the green. You got a nice little trigger wave on the momentum going to the upside. You do got VWAP cutting back down a little bit. And we did finally break back above on the 1 hour. So if we can hold that, we might come back down a little bit, back down to the 21, because you can see the momentum's rolling over. Stokes have flipped, flipped to the downside. RSI is pointing down. So we might have a little bit of pullback, but if we can maintain that 1 hour 200 MA on XRP, I think we're still good. I'm optimistic, bro. I'm optimistic that this could be the next leg up, but I've been putting my foot in my mouth for like the past week, because every time it seems like we're getting ready to get that move back up, something triggers, and it's just weakness in the market. You know what I mean? When you have low volume, so you've seen the volume today was only 154 billion. Yesterday was like 120. I think the day before that was like 120. When you have low volume like that, it doesn't take much money for the bears or the bulls to push it in their direction. So like 150 million, say you got 51 bulls and 49 bears, it's easier for the bulls to push it to the upside. But if you have like 300 billion in volume, then you're talking, you multiply that. I guess it'd be like having like 102 bulls with I don't know, like 98 bears or something like that. It's not as easy to push it up to the upside or the downside. I don't 100%. Think that analogy worked.
Well, I get what you're trying to say,
So basically, low volume, it takes less money to push it in the direction that you want it to go. That's what I'm trying to say.
Got it. 100%. Now, okay, so I got a bunch of articles we're going to go into here in a second. Give me just a moment. I got to do this thing.
What you need to do, bro, you need to buy a jar of peanut butter for every day of the week, right? Okay. And then when we get ready to go live, you just give your dogs a big old scoop of peanut butter so then they can't bark. They're just like, if they're anything like my dogs.
Do you know what? I actually tried to give them peanut butter the other day and they didn't like it. Or they didn't eat it. One of them will, but then the other one didn't. And I was like, what? Peanut butter is so good.
That's weird.
You know, I like
it's because they're Honduran dogs.
Nah, maybe something.
I'm just saying. Didn't you say like your wife doesn't understand why you like peanut butter so much?
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
So
she doesn't understand.
It's a cultural thing, bro. You can't take the culture out of them.
True. All right, so what we got here is Ondo Finance partners with Trump's World Liberty Financial to tokenize real-world assets and on-chain. And here is the tweet. We're excited to announce a strategic collaboration with World Liberty Financial to advance the adoption of tokenized real-world assets and bring traditional finance on-chain. World Liberty Financial is exploring the integration of Ondo's tokenized assets into the network as a treasury reserve asset. That's what it's going to say there. Let's see if we can watch this. Wow, look at it. So amazing. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Well, there we go. And so Ondo
there wasn't even a voiceover to it, huh?
I know. I was like, why did it have me add volume? You know what I mean?
Right.
Unmute it. But so according to the announcement, the partnership will see World Liberty Financial explore integrating Ondo's flagship tokenized asset, including the US dollar yield token and short-term US treasuries, which is awesome. Financial products without leaving the blockchain ecosystem. Beyond reserves, World Liberty Financial plans to embed Ondo's tokenized securities from its newly launched Ondo Global Markets, a platform designed to provide access to a wide range of tokenized stocks and bonds. Through this integration, users can borrow, lend, and trade tokenized assets with the goal of bridging Wall Street-like financial services to decentralized finance. Our collaboration with Ondo Finance marks a major step forward in aligning traditional financial systems with blockchain innovation. By integrating Ondo's tokenized assets, we're providing our network with access to traditional finance markets and new yield opportunities, making DeFi more powerful and accessible than ever, said Donald Trump Jr. The announcement follows Ondo's recent expansion, including the launch of Ondo Global Markets on February 5th. The platform offers on-chain exposure to U.S. stocks, bonds, and ETFs. Bullish. Right?
I like it.
Bullish.
Definitely bullish.
Pump our bags. All right. So we've been talking about this kind of thing happening. It's very exciting, but Robinhood's crypto revenue soared 700% in Q4, driving record profits. And so this is something we're going to see across the board. We were talking about all the big companies that are looking to IPO. This is the time to do it, right? When your balance sheet looks stacked because Q4 was good and because the bull market is right around the corner, what better time to jump ship, right? This is it. So here are the guys. Look at the guys, co-founders. Vlad Tenev and
the Impaler.
Biju Bat. The Impaler. Yeah, Robinhood Markets reported a 700% surge in cryptocurrency trading revenue in the fourth quarter, helping the retail brokerage post record profitability as digital asset volumes rebounded. Crypto revenue reached $358 million, up from $45 million a year earlier. What a freaking... Can you believe that? Can you imagine only making $45 million in a year? and then all of a sudden next year you're making almost 400 million. That's nuts. I can't relate.
That's what happens when you're poor, I guess. You know, you only make 45 million.
Exactly. I can't relate. I literally can't. All right. So that's what we got going on there. Share this tab. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman shares new ChatGPT 5 roadmap and promises one AI to rule them all. Look at that. Don't you love that face? Don't you love that face? As competition heats up, Sam Altman announces plans to merge OpenAI's scattered AI models into a single system that just works. You don't have to know that it's taking all your data. It just works. So channeling inner Steve Jobs, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman reveals plan on Wednesday to drastically simplify the company's product lineup, merging its scattered collection of AI models into a single unified system. The move comes just weeks after Chinese rival DeepSeek makes waves by launching a similar, more capable AI that threatened to overshadow OpenAI's more complex offerings. We want to do a better job of sharing our intended roadmap and a much better job of simplifying our product offerings. Sam Altman wrote in a tweet. It's the way that people communicate nowadays. It's in a tweet.
Yep.
But OpenAI currently has a diverse, some might say confusing model offering, with GPT being the creative LLM, O being the reasoning model, and DALL-E being the image generator, Sora being the video generator, and GPT Vision being a model for visual understanding. Yes.
I didn't know. I didn't know Sora and Vision. I didn't even know about GPT Vision, but I didn't know Sora was under OpenAI.
Yes, I didn't realize that they had a Vision one. I've been using Vision.ID, which Vision.ID has been cool. I know the person that built that, and that's why I like it. But I didn't realize that OpenAI has its own model. So we got this. Trump's pick to lead. The bank regulator OCC has strong Bitcoin ties. This is bullish. We like Bitcoin, so we're excited about what's going to be going on with Bitcoin ties. President Donald Trump has chosen ex-Bitfury CLO Jonathan Gould to lead the office of the Comptroller of Currency. The White House will pick another crypto-native banking professional from a prominent regulatory position. According to the reports. Jonathan Gould, who formerly worked as chief legal officer at Bitfury, has been selected to lead the office of the Comptroller of the Currency. Gould's position would see him lead the regulators that monitors large national banks. The news was reported by Politico and Punchbowl News, citing a document sent to the Senate on Tuesday. Gould did not immediately respond to Decrypt's request for him to confirm the reports. They never do immediately. But Gould is currently a partner at the Jones Day Law Office, and apart from his previous role at Bitfury, he has also worked at BlackRock and is senior deputy comptroller and chief counsel at the OCC, according to his LinkedIn page. They really dug deep. They went all the way to his LinkedIn page. I'll tell you what. So tech firm Bitfury produces Bitcoin mining equipment and describes itself as the world's full-service blockchain technology company. And then we got the price of Bitcoin because it's bullish. So we love that. Awesome. We like that. I thought this was an interesting article. The U.S. states lead in strategic Bitcoin reserves. Will Trump deliver on his Bitcoin promise? And this is because the states are ahead of the country so far, right? At least 16 states have introduced legislation for Bitcoin and digital asset reserves, following President Trump's footsteps at the national level. Nearly a third of the U.S. states are venturing into financial frontiers once considered to be completely unthinkable, and that is creating the strategic Bitcoin reserve. While U.S. President Donald Trump's vision for a national digital asset stockpile is still developing, U.S. states are not waiting around. Inspired by the success of other countries like El Salvador and unprecedented support President Trump has shown for the industry, they are charging ahead with their own bold initiatives. And that's what I've been saying, and I've been saying this for so long. The thing is that the whole world sat back and waited for El Salvador to fail. Right. And they doubled their treasury of their country. Right?
Yeah.
And so it was not necessarily a failure that they were waiting for. And because of that, I think it was a massive signal for the rest of the world to follow suit. And I think the people that followed suit earlier obviously benefited. And it's just, now Big Daddy America's ready. We watched them go into the pool and check if it was cold or whatnot. So 16 U.S. states are considering Bitcoin as part of their investment strategies. Oh, my goodness. Give me one moment.
What would you shut your screen off for?
I actually don't know why I shut my screen off. I think that was just in frustration. Hold on. Can you read this for just a moment?
Yes.
All right.
All right. So 16 states are considering Bitcoin as part of their investment strategies, with legislation to allow public funds to be allocated to such digital assets already under discussion. In states like Arizona, nice, and Utah, where the bill has already passed the committee approval, a vote in the chamber is right up their alley, bringing the idea of a Bitcoin reserve closer to becoming a reality rather than just a distant fantasy. The case for countries and states embracing strategic Bitcoin is becoming more tangible as momentum builds in the U.S. following Trump's inauguration as president. In his first address to the sector on February 4th, White House crypto czar David Sachs is exploring a potential Bitcoin reserve would be one of the first things we are going to look at as part of the administration's internal working group. So, bullish. I don't know if you want me to keep going, but I can only see so much of it. You're muted.
So yeah, if I touch the head of this microphone, it mutes itself up. But yes, so I let my dogs in. Now they're excited to be around me. So it's okay. Now they're not crying anymore. So yes, with this, is Bitcoin ahead? Oh, this is the same article, but we're not on the same page. Okay, well, I think it's bullish. Obviously, we got 16 states that are ahead on creating a Bitcoin reserve, and I think that's bullish. Once we see these things really rolling out, I think that it's going to change the whole dynamics. I've been saying lately that I think that Bitcoin is just going to be for the massive institutions. It's not going to make sense for regular people.
I didn't know Arizona was that far into the process.
You just have to be more politically connected in your state, Desert.
I guess.
You're just not paying attention. Open your eyes. No, I'm joking. But
one of my senators is on the subcommittee of finance, so I know that.
Bullish. So what we got here is Hive Digital clocks 29.2 million in Q3 revenue as Bitcoin HODL position surges. The Bitcoin miner ended its fiscal year quarter with a 270 million in cash and crypto holdings, according to CFO Darcy Dowbarbus. Right? Dowbarbus? Barus? So data center infrastructure provider Hive Digital reported revenue growth for the final quarter of 2024, driven by record Bitcoin reserves and the expanding high-performance computing business. In the quarter ending December 31, Hive's revenue from crypto mining and HPC hosting services reached 29.2 million. in HPC business generated 2.5 million in quarterly revenue in an annualized run rate of 10 million. I don't even know what that means. For myself, sorry. They generated 2.5 million in quarterly revenue. So that was like the money that they generated for an annualized run rate of 10 million. So that means they made 10 million throughout the year in the 4 quarters. Okay, makes sense. The company adjusted earnings were 17.3 million, while their net income after taxes amounted to 1.3 million. Isn't that crazy how taxes work? This is wild. But yeah, so 322 Bitcoin mined, 29.2 million total revenue, 17.3 adjusted. I don't know what that means. 6.1 million gross operating margin. Great. Crazy. But we love seeing this. 270 million in cash and crypto holdings, according to their chief financial officer. But more of these stories are coming out. I think that people are betting big on crypto. And here we go. BlackRock buys 50 million in Bitcoin amid dip in the past week. Right? We don't have to go into what they're doing with it because they have all these different subsidiaries. This information comes from Arkham Intelligence, which we know has been wrong before. So Grayscale Investments and Invesco recently offloaded part of their Bitcoin stash for unknown reasons. Bitcoin has been up and down in 2025 thus far, but it is overall up by 6% in the past month. BlackRock, which is the world's largest asset manager by total asset value, still appears highly confident in the cryptocurrency. Despite mixed market sentiment, BlackRock currently holds approximately 60 billion in Bitcoin. What a choice. That's not a small number.
Not a small amount, for sure.
But on the broader Bitcoin ETF market, there have been 2 consecutive days of net outflows. Data from Farside Investors show that out of 11 asset managers, only BlackRock recorded positive Bitcoin ETF inflows over the past 2 days. In addition, with the latest purchase, oh my God, recorded by Bitcoin ETF inflows over the past 2 days. In addition, with the latest purchase, BlackRock now holds 2.7% of the entire Bitcoin supply. With the institutional players repositioning, retail investors remain observant, watching Bitcoin's price.
Well, we wanted them here, and now they own 2.7% of the supply.
Yeah. So. I just want everybody to know, when I buy a meme coin and I see somebody holding 2.4% of the supply or higher, sometimes I get stressed and I might not feel as confident about buying the meme coin. Now, the fact that this is BlackRock, I guess, maybe that's more comforting.
Maybe.
I don't think so, man. They're going to dump on our heads. It's going to happen. So Bitcoin price sell-off after hot CPI print, but 100K remains in sight. And these are just the opinions spread in this article, where they're saying Bitcoin prices corrected after a shocking CPI print, potential Bitcoin miner sell pressure, and a concerning macroeconomic developments. And not sure what those developments are, but we'll say it fell 1.8% on February 12th after U.S. inflation data came in higher than expected, pushing the cryptocurrency to its lowest levels in 9 days. The price correction accelerated as the U.S. reported a 3% year-over-year increase in CPI for January, leading to a retest of 94,200 support level. Traders are questioning whether Bitcoin can still reach the highly anticipated $100,000 mark. I definitely think it can, given the growing concern over global economic growth and the potential impact of recent policy measures introduced by the Trump administration, including tariffs. So they are still talking about tariffs, trying to attribute downturn in the crypto market, which I think had to do with people just de-risking. I don't necessarily think that they were 100% related to tariffs, because like crypto is like tariffless. You know what I mean? You're sending it.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Not to mention tariffs haven't even been like initiated yet. It's just the threat of tariffs.
Yeah.
You know, he's put a pause on the ones for Mexico and Canada. I don't think he paused the ones for China, but then the steel tariff and everything like that. I don't know.
I think it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But Hashflare co-founders plead guilty to wire fraud in the U.S. So wire fraud is literally the one thing that everybody pleads to in the U.S. whenever they're caught with crypto and the prosecutors are really trying to get at them. But Sergey and Pontapenko and Ivan Torgan, both Estonian nationals, agreed to forfeit all claims to digital assets frozen by the U.S. authorities as part of a plea deal with prosecutors. The co-founders of the crypto mining service, Hashflare, agreed to plead guilty to one count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud as part of the deal with U.S. authorities. The Estonian nationals were responsible for running Hashflare, which defrauded users out of more than $550 million between 2015 and 2019. Whew. That's a pretty big number. And raising $25 million from investors in 2017, claiming they would establish a digital bank called Polybus. But the company was never created. I mean, like, that by itself is crazy.
Right.
So they pled to wire fraud, and they probably didn't actually get charged for this $500 million theft in between 2015 to 2019, and then they also raised $25 million for a company that they never started. Speaking to Cointelegraph after the hearings, Reed Smith, partner of defense counsel Mark Beeney, said both defendants had agreed to forfeit their interests in assets that the government had frozen and provide assistance so that there will be a zero financial harm to anyone. According to the attorney, Hashflare returned $350 million in crypto payments to users between 2015 and 2022. So they still
they're missing about 200 million.
That's what I was about to say. But so that was why they pled guilty to wire fraud. They're like, dang, you got us for something that's not actually that bad. And we'll give back everything except for like what? That ends up being like almost $200 million.
Yeah, that's
we'll give you the rest, though. You know, we'll give you the rest. It's actually $225 million, dude. That is nuts.
Well, yeah. I guess if you include the other 25 million
for the company that they never launched. Jeez, crypto is crazy, man. Crypto is wild. It's really amazing. So this was actually something I wanted to talk about the other day, but Central African Republic dives into crypto. So they've decided they're launching a meme coin in the Central African Republic. So the president or political leader there is pretty much following Donald Trump's lead and launching a meme coin and to fund money. Let's see. Launched a new crypto dubbed Car Meme. This initiative, spearheaded by President Faustine Arkwright Tundera, a former mathematics professor, seeks to attract much-needed investment to the nation, which has faced years of neglect from the international community. CAR, a landlocked country with a population of approximately 5 million, made headlines in 2022 when it became the second nation globally after El Salvador to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. Following this significant step, the government introduced Sango Coin, a crypto that offers investors pathways to citizenship, land ownership, and access to nations' abundant natural resources. However, decades of conflict have left CAR considerable reserves of gold and diamonds largely untapped. So Let's see. Cars crypto plummets nearly 90%. Typical meme coin, right? This is what they do. Despite the initial enthusiasm, the car meme experienced significant volatility, trading at 3 cents on the Jupiter crypto trading platform just days after its launch, having plummeted nearly 90% in value. However, Tudera remains hopeful that the potential of the car meme to drive positive change to the country is still there. The president emphasizes the government's ambition to leverage blockchain technology to promote long-term growth in various sectors, including education, infrastructure, and financial inclusion. We've already begun to explore new opportunities to use meme coin to promote real change. Anyways, what do you think about that, Desert?
Well, on the surface, the name sucks.
Yeah.
You know, and then there's just so much conflicting stuff in there. Is it a meme or is it a coin that you want to use to promote change for infrastructure, education, and financial inclusion? Which one is it? You know what I mean? So now if they came out with like CAR, obviously an acronym, and the utility behind CAR was to help promote various sectors, too many people try to use the narrative of meme. If it's a utility coin, just, you know, I don't know. I don't get it.
But how many other, what do you think is going to be the next country, this next small country leader that is going to launch a meme coin?
I didn't even know Central African Republic was a country, bro. So how the hell how do I know?
How can you guess which one's next? That's fair.
Right. I didn't even know Central African Republic. I think like the Congo, right? Ain't that? I think the Republic of the Congo. Is that the same country?
That's what I think of. I actually think that it is, but I could be completely wrong. Central African Republic.
Or maybe the Republic of the Congo is different, right? I would imagine.
It is bordered by Chad to the north and Sudan to the northeast. Now you know exactly where it is. Does that help?
By Chad and what?
And Chad to the north and Sudan in the northeast.
Okay.
And the Republic of the Congo to the southwest. So just above the Congo.
Okay. Maybe that's why I had it confused, because I always thought the Congo was in the middle of the country or in the middle of the continent. So,
all right. And then we got Fed Chair Powell says Fed won't block banks from serving crypto customers. And we saw this live. I don't know why they're talking about it again, but he basically said that he thinks that all banks are actually equipped to custodian crypto for the people. Right. And so he has confidence that they will do so and that he's not going to stop them from trying to do so.
Well, we talked a little bit about this yesterday in the Senate hearing when he was confronted about the situation. People saying that banks aren't equipped or there's regulatory. He was asked if he would help him, and he said, "Yeah."
So help him. Give me an allocation. But
for anybody that would like to know, Ben's Twitter has been deactivated again.
Oh, well, I guess we're just going to have to sit here biting our nails until the manifesto tomorrow.
Right.
Which manifesto is a really strange word, because most of the time that's like what they do before they commit some heinous crime. And they explain their reason for doing so.
Right. What's up, Hybrid family? What's going on?
Hey there, Hybrid family. We talked about Microsoft and ADA, and very exciting. We love that, and thank you so much for sharing that information with us.
Yeah.
But so now here we said that, but then here's more Franklin Templeton because you love it. Franklin Templeton launches U.S. government money fund on Solana. So, a financial services company with 1.6 trillion of assets under management has launched its U.S. government money fund on Solana. So, you are able to use Solana now to buy and hold government paper. Isn't that exciting? Everybody loves
Super.
treasury
I'm
stuff.
very disappointed it wasn't launched on SWE because Franklin Templeton is a very big proponent or a very big they're very big on SWE at least.
I mean, Sui, I think, is dope. I don't understand. Well, I think that it'll get its shine when it gets its shine, probably at the top of the market. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, the main reason why I say that is because the dude from Franklin Templeton in the interview literally said that the team at SWE is the best team in blockchain. So for that, maybe he's just not high enough on the echelon, on the ladder, to be able to make those decisions. Somebody above him, vetoed his decision to use SWE, and they're like, no, we're going to go with Solana. So we have failed transactions 70% of the time.
Fair. But then, yeah, so I'm not going to go into this article, but I wanted to read the 3 key events that they want to occur. But Bitcoin traders say 400K Bitcoin price is possible if 3 key events occur. So the 3 key events are Bitcoin follow gold's path to 400,000 because gold's going up. And then Bitcoin takers buy-sell ratio flashes a bullish signal. So they say these 3 things. Well, there was really only 2. So there we go. That's what they're saying. Even during the rules, Bitcoin has never gone more than 5 years ahead of the trend line. Right now, we're near the 1 year ahead level, suggesting further upside. Crazy.
It's not hitting 400,000. Maybe
if it hits 400,000, I'll light myself on fire. I'm just kidding. I'll pour myself with gasoline.
It would have to be like the administration coming out and saying no tax on Bitcoin for anybody, and then Jerome Powell is like, oh, we're going to cut interest rates by 2%, and then like it would have to be so much deregulation, and it's not going to hit. Not this cycle.
I don't know. The government can print a lot of money and buy a lot of Bitcoin.
Well, they could, but even that's only gonna. You got to remember,
they got to
if they're printing it, if they're buying it OTC, it's not going to affect the price. Only in speculation will it affect the price. Yeah. Now, or not immediately affect. Not like if they were buying it spot, and they're not going to buy several $1 billion worth of Bitcoin spot. Because by the time the transaction went through, the whole thing went through, Bitcoin would have jumped like, $10,000 a coin.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But that's what we got. There's our whole episode for us today, guys. We are at time. But also, I have a handful of more articles that we'll go over the rest of them tomorrow. There was something about how whales scoop up 2.35% of the Cardano supply within the last 2 weeks. That's pretty crazy.
That's interesting.
Bullish.
That is interesting.
Bullish. They're predicting $1.50 very short term.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can get behind that for sure.
We like
speaking of Cardano, I don't know why this came to, but shout out to Big Pay. His birthday. He's only 25 years old.
I didn't realize that. That means he's 5 years younger than I am, which is crazy.
Yeah, when we met him, when we were at Rare Evo with him, he didn't look like he was 24 years old.
No, I thought he was just hanging out with us because we're all around the same place,
Yeah, I don't know.
But I guess he's 5 years younger than me. Shout out to Big Pay, man. Good genes. He's done a lot for being so young. Yeah,
for sure.
100%.
For sure.
But there we have it. We will see you guys tomorrow night. Aaron couldn't be with us today, so he said he could make up for it tomorrow, or we could pick another day. So we'll see. we'll see we'll play it by ear. We'll let you guys know. But we're gonna be here
tomorrow. We'll be a little more organized because I was kind of caught off guard about Aaron not coming on today. So I didn't really
a lot of articles still. So it's okay. We still have a lot of articles. I got like 7 or 8 more. So we're good.
All right, let's get it. Y'all have a great night. Remember to hit that like button, subscribe, and all that good stuff on the way out. Share it with a friend. We come live Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. PST, bringing you the daily news and market updates.
Peace out. We'll see you guys on the next one.